taking, like, and you're losing?
Y'all, it seems like Drake has more diss tracks aimed at Kendrick Lamar, but he decided to keep them off limits for a very shocking reason. Here's what happened. As if the beef between K-Dot and Drizzy isn't dramatic enough, more shocking revelations about the feud are starting to come out. Drizzy is reportedly sitting on a stack of explosive diss tracks aimed at heavyweights like Kendrick, Rick Ross, and Metro Boomin. But here's the catch. He hasn't released them, and fans are wondering why. Well, let me break it down. First, let's talk about the feuds, shall we? In case you've been out of the loop, Drake and Kendrick's rivalry is one for the books. I mean, it's a clash of titans representing different schools of rap. And we all know that Kendrick has been throwing subliminal shots at Drake for years, calling out his credibility, authenticity, and even hinting at ghostwriting allegations. Remember Kendrick's legendary verse on Big Sean's Control? He basically called out nearly everyone in the game, but Drake seemed to take it personally. Their rivalry simmered ever since. Fast forward to 2024. Kendrick's verse on Metro Boomin's Like That takes the beef to another level, and I think we can all say the rest is history. Now, here's the big surprise.
The material comes that fast. Yeah. And then it was loaded again. Drake was loaded, ready to go again.
Yup, you heard that right. Just think about it. Kendrick is a lyrical powerhouse, and Drake may have calculated that engaging could damage his carefully curated image. After all, there's been a lot of chatter that he horribly lost against K-Dot in their most recent beef. Then there's the Rick Ross situation. In a leaked diss track titled Push-Ups, Drake reportedly mocked Ross's age and career achievements, implying that Ross's biggest hits were thanks to his collaborations with Drake. Ross fired back with champagne moments, accusing Drake of using ghostwriters and even throwing shade at his alleged cosmetic procedures. It's messy to say the least. But people are still wondering, why hasn't Drake dropped these tracks? One theory is that he's avoiding unnecessary drama. Let's be honest, rap beefs often spill over into real-life conflicts, with social media amplifying tensions. Now, Drake may be playing the long game, ensuring his brand remains untarnished. Also, let's not forget what happened in 2018 during Drake's feud with Pusha T. After Pusha's scathing the story of Adidon, there were rumors that Drake had a career-ending track ready to go. But Jay Prince, a mentor figure to Drake, reportedly advised him to hold back, warning that it could escalate beyond music. The same debate is raging now, and fans can't help but ask, is he showing restraint? Or is he backing down under pressure? Some fans think Drake is being cautious. After all, Drake is a businessman as much as he is an artist. So, he knows that releasing diss tracks could alienate parts of his audience or even invite unnecessary legal trouble. By keeping these tracks in the vault, he retains the upper hand, or so he thinks, because there's a risk to this approach. In hip-hop, where credibility and bravado are everything, not responding to direct shots can make you look weak. And for someone who allegedly took a big L against his biggest rival, I think Drake should start rethinking his strategy. But what do you guys think? Let us know, and make sure to stay tuned for more.
So now why am I in it? And you could have did it. See how I get thrown in it? She never apologized.
Looks like Drake's boat has no one left but himself, with the latest betrayal coming from none other than his long-term bestie, SZA. Like, they've been cool for years, dropping hits together and always hyping each other up. But now, word on the street is that SZA has jumped ship to team up with Kendrick Lamar for a whole joint tour. And some fans think she just pulled the ultimate backstab on Drizzy. Y'all, there's a lot to unpack here, so grab your popcorn and let's get right into it. To give you some context, SZA and Kendrick recently announced their upcoming Grand National Tour, and trust me, this is already shaping up to be the concert of the year. Of course, they are both crazy talented, and Kendrick is about to headline the Super Bowl halftime show, so you already know this tour is going to be lit. But here's where the drama kicks in. Some fans are calling out SZA for allegedly betraying Drake by linking up with Kendrick, who, as we all know, has been Drake's not-so-secret nemesis for years. Now, before we dive into all the mess, let's rewind for a sec, because we can't overlook the fact that SZA and Drake have history. They dated briefly back in the day, and even after that, they've stayed close. Drake has always been in her corner. Remember when he clapped back at DJ Academics for body shaming her? Yeah, he's been that guy for her. They've collabed on tracks, hit the stage together, and seem like ride or die energy. But not only that, fans are losing it because some are accusing SZA SZA of playing double agent. Internet detectives are out here saying she cozied up to Drake just to collect tea and take it back to Kendrick. People are calling her a mole and dragging her for allegedly betraying Drake for clout and loyalty to her old label, TDE. One fan even claimed SZA executed the longest, most calculated revenge move in music history. The drama writes itself at this point.
No, but wait, the fact that there's a chance that we might hear this live, I know we're gonna hear this and this live. And hell, they might even take us to Wakanda. I think it goes without saying this concert is gonna be something special. What's your favorite Kendrick Lamar SZA collab? Let me know in the comments.
Here's another angle to it though. While fans are out here fighting over whether SZA's actions are sus or just business, others think this whole thing is just about the bag. SZA's connection to Kendrick isn't new. They've been label mates for years and have worked together on some of TDE's biggest projects. So this tour might just be a smart move for both of them. Kendrick's building his own thing with PG Lang, and SZA is securing her spot as that girl. At the end of the day, money talks, and this collab is about to bring in some serious cash. Anyways, it's clear this story isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Drake hasn't said a word about it yet, but you already know the fans are dissecting everything he posts for clues. And with the internet speculating if SZA's a double agent or just a boss making moves, this tour is already getting all the attention it needs. What do y'all think about this messy situation? Make sure to stick around because my next video is going to spill even more tea.
Kendrick's new album just escalated the war with Drake to another level.
What does he want us to learn before the Super Bowl? It ain't this.
Y'all, it finally happened. After months of speculation, Kendrick Lamar finally dropped his much-anticipated new project, GNX, on November 22nd of 2024. And in classic Kendrick fashion, the surprise release of GNX managed to shock the entire music industry.
This is him being very current. We've never heard Kendrick in a moment like this.
What's crazy is that GNX is basically one big Not Like Us sequel. When Kendrick put out Not Like Us earlier this summer, it was instantaneously crowned as one of the greatest diss tracks of all time, shattering streaming records and debuting atop the Billboard Hot 100. Since Not Like Us dropped, it's become LA's new unofficial anthem. Not only is the song produced by famed LA native Mustard, but some of the city's biggest names rallied on stage to the song during Kendrick's Juneteenth pop-out concert. The pop-out was widely acclaimed for showcasing both LA's most storied rap legends and its rising underground talent. And Kendrick's new album GNX is a direct continuation of that same theme. GNX also has Kendrick doubling down on his history-making collaboration with Mustard. After their Not Like Us team-up picked up 5 Grammy nominations, it only made sense for Kendrick and Mustard to spin the block again. Mustard contributed production to 2 songs on GNX, Hey Now and TV Off. Kendrick's love for Mustard is pretty unmistakable on the album. On TV Off, you literally got Kendrick screaming Mustard on the track, and the moment was instantly iconic enough that it became a TikTok trend. Mustard himself even hinted that Kendrick may have gifted him a brand new, instantly iconic producer tag. I thought the same thing when I heard that. But maybe the most direct connection to Not Like Us comes from the second track on the album. When Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us music video on July 4th, fans instantly went wild for an untitled snippet of new music that intros the actual video. That one snippet went viral on TikTok with fans begging Kendrick to drop the full song. And on GNX, Kendrick followed through by finally releasing Squabble Up as the album's very first single. But if you really want to know how GNX continues the Not Like Us legacy, you gotta break down all the secret Drake disses on the album.
Kendrick just comes in hot and doesn't let up for the whole album, basically.
While Kendrick never mentions Drake by name on GNX, there's plenty of references aimed at his arch nemesis. In fact, the intro track, Whacked Out Murals, is a cold-blooded rebuke to all the counter-narratives that have cropped up since Kendrick thrashed Drake this past summer. The title refers to an incident from September of 2024 when a Kendrick Lamar mural in Compton was vandalized, and footage surfaced of a tagger not only Xing out Kendrick's eyes, but also tagging Drake's label name, OVO. In the song, Kendrick addresses all the people who he claims are trying to undercut his legacy. He even declares, "Ain't no legends if my legends end," essentially declaring that if he isn't the pinnacle of greatest rappers ever, nobody is. On the same song, Kendrick implies that Drake allegedly tried to buy information on him by offering money to Kendrick's inner circle. But Kendrick also asserts that his reputation in LA is so solid that nobody on his team betrayed him, despite all the cash that Drake seemingly threw their way. Kendrick also threw cold water on anyone advocating for him and Drake to piece it up and find reconciliation. Kendrick vowed to fans that he would never let the beef go and that he and Drake are enemies for life. Kendrick went even further by claiming that Drake's alleged bribes could have had real-world consequences. These lines are saying that by allegedly offering money for info, Drake could have inspired someone to carry out violence against Kendrick or his loved ones. And that's part of the reason why Kendrick insists that peace just isn't in the cards. On the song Hey Now, Kendrick alludes to his victory over Drake when he brags about being the Black Noah who just strangled him a goat, clearly referring to himself as Noah from the Bible and claiming that he outright ended Drake's status as a so-called goat. But maybe the most savage and cutting Drake diss came from Kendrick's song The Heart Part 6. The Heart series is one of Kendrick's most well-known trademarks. His first song in the series, The Heart Part 1, was released in 2010, and Kendrick has traditionally released new songs in the series as a prelude to new projects. For years, Kendrick has used the Heart series as a calling card for his die-hard fans, but that was until Drake hijacked the entire thing. This summer, just a day after Kendrick's release Not Like Us, Drake responded with a diss track of his own, The Heart Part 6. But Drake's Heart Part 6 was widely mocked. It racked up over 1.5 million dislikes on YouTube and was widely seen as Drake waving the white flag and tapping out of the battle. Despite all the negative reactions Drake received, fans speculated on how Kendrick might react. And with GNX, we finally got an answer. Instead of acknowledging Drake's heart hijacking, Kendrick straight up ignored him. Kendrick continued the series completely unbothered, using his own Heart Part 6 to reflect on his come up under his old label Top Dog Entertainment and how he's grown as an artist. While Kendrick's Heart Part 6 is a deeply personal song, the fact that he basically acted like Drake's version never existed was the ultimate power move. After thoroughly cooking Drake on Not Like Us, Kendrick has completely dismissed him as a worthy opponent. And while Drake didn't react to the album directly, he did take the opportunity to address his beef with Kendrick. Drake appeared on a live stream with XQC where he made a not-so-veiled reference to his most famous enemy.
We love all the talkers, all the crip walkers, man. We love you guys, man. That's what it is, man, you know?
But Drake wasn't being totally anonymous. He also addressed fans and haters directly, bragging,
I'm here, as you can see, fully intact, mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it.
And that sounds a lot like a rebuttal to the claims Kendrick made about him on Not Like Us. But what nobody was expecting is that Kendrick himself would react to Drake in real time. Kendrick associate Relly posted a screenshot of his text thread with Kendrick. In the text thread, Relly lets Kendrick know that Drake was talking shit, and Kendrick seemed pissed that Drake was mouthing off. Quote, he tripping? It sounds a lot like Kendrick is still keeping a close eye on Drake's moves, and that he might be ready to clap back at a moment's notice. But Drake had something up his sleeve because his legal team dropped a bombshell right in the middle of GNX's release weekend.
It's been a crazy, insane, totally unhinged, past 72 hours.
On November 25th of 2024, Drake filed a pre-action petition targeting Universal Music Group. In the petition, Drake alleges that Kendrick's hit diss Not Like Us was actually boosted by a sophisticated network of bots that he claims were financed by UMG, which happens to be both Drake's label and the distributor of Kendrick's music. More specifically, Drake's lawyers allege that Spotify directed listeners to Not Like Us even if they were searching for unrelated content. They also claim that Siri would automatically reroute users to stream Not Like Us even if they were asked to listen to Drake songs. Ultimately, the petition claims that Not Like Us only broke so many records because of bots inflating the song's blockbuster numbers. While the petition isn't technically a lawsuit, it does mean that Drake's legal team are taking steps to gather evidence and officially sue UMG in court. According to the filing, UMG refused to engage in Drake's accusations and even suggested that Drake sue Kendrick Lamar instead. However, just hours after Drake's pre-action petition was filed, UMG hit back with a blistering statement. They not only denied Drake's allegations, calling them offensive and untrue, but they also hit back by basically calling Drake's claims unhinged. Quote, no amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music that they want to hear. That's a pretty brutal response, especially when you acknowledge that Drake is still an artist signed to UMG. But that was not the end of it, because Drake decided to go back to back and hit UMG with another legal action. The very next day, Drake's team filed another claim alleging that UMG funneled payments to iHeartRadio in a pay-to-play scheme meant to get Not Like Us on the radio. Drake's second filing accused UMG and iHeart of defamation, claiming that the companies conspired to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit so they could harm Drake and drive consumer hysteria. The action also alleges that UMG approved of the song even though it defamed, quote, one of its most prominent artists by falsely accusing Drake of being a sex offender. Drake's lawyers even implied that they might sue UMG for both civil fraud and racketeering. While Kendrick isn't being directly targeted in either of these actions, these accusations could carry major consequences. By filing these actions in court, Drake has co-signed the theories and challenged UMG to disprove his accusations. Drake is essentially claiming that Kendrick benefited from unfair business practices like payola and botting. If these claims are actually verified, they could potentially undercut Kendrick's legacy and his landmark victory over Drake. But there's even more to the story. Drake's contract with UMG is set to expire, and he's obviously going to ask for a whole lot more money. Drake's petitions claim that UMG engineered this botting strategy so they could renegotiate Drake's contract with them on more favorable terms. Drake is basically saying that UMG backed Kendrick so they could get Drake to agree to accept less money when it came time for him to re-up his label contract, and that UMG's support of Kendrick is an entire conspiracy. Now, if that's actually true, it would have huge implications for the entire music business. But when it comes to the court of public opinion, fans don't seem happy with Drake's attempt to sue his way out of an L. Commentators on social media have labeled Drake a Karen, and Punch, the president of Kendrick's former label Top Dog Entertainment, tweeted, quote, "The rap streets is done, SMH," in response. Right now, most of the rap game seems to agree that Drake looks desperate by filing these two legal actions. But that perception could change if his accusations against UMG are proven true. These potential lawsuits might really drag the Kendrick-Drake war in front of a judge and really change rap beef forever. While Kendrick hasn't yet issued a response to Drake's twin legal actions, some fans believe that new content is imminent. Listeners have locked into lyrics on Squabble Up where Kendrick promises to, quote, double back like a deluxe, and some believe that Kendrick is hinting that he might still have more music on the way. Longtime Kendrick fans have pointed out that by including The Heart Part 6 on the album, Kendrick is signaling that there's more to come. Remember, Kendrick uses his The Heart series as an appetizer before releasing new music. Could GNX just be a prelude for another Kendrick album? It's safe to say that if Kendrick drops another album, he'll have plenty to say about Drake when trying to sue his way to a win. Whichever way this goes, it's safe to say that the battle is far from over, and both Kendrick and Drake are entering uncharted territory.
50 Cent stirred the pot by pulling out a list he claimed reveals all of Drake's ops. Holding up a paper stacked with names, Fifth broke it down. Every name on the list represents someone Drake has crossed paths with or clashed with over the years.
This is the op page.
Right.
He was just winning consistently more than everybody else in the culture. And then these people start to turn into people that feel like they're ops all over the page, babe. Because they keep watching them win. And then you go, I want this thing forever, man.
Right.
I'm not sure you can have it forever.
Right.
Not forever.
But that wasn't all. 50 also shared his thoughts on the long-going Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef, adding even more fuel to the fire during the interview.
No, I think it's a point where you win repeatedly to the audience, and even the artist community is going, if you win again, how am I have my chance to win? So they would rather see Kendrick in that slot. Right. And Drake, you get out of here.
Damn.
That's really the way it goes, baby. Like, you look, think what he's saying, the system's done, they done it. They're guilty of what he said they did. Like, where I'm at Interscope, they are G-Unit and G-Unit at the same time.
Right. Gotcha. Wow.
On the same system, big. The same person delivering the record telling you to play 50 Cent is delivering the record saying play game.
Wow.
And it's just business. They're looking at it like it's business. It's selling the record. But everything that they said that he did, that they did for Kendrick, is something they did for him.
Here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering. Right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't do it. Cheers to everybody.
Words live by.
Words to live by. Real talk. Cheers to everybody.
Andrew Schultz's sickening comments about Kendrick Lamar is still going strong, with Meek Mill now being the latest to speak out against him. On November 22nd, Kendrick Lamar dropped his new album, GNX, and the opening track, Waxed Out Murals, had a line that seemed to target black men, particularly podcast bros, who allow white comedians to disrespect black women. And while Kendrick didn't even mention Andrew Schultz, Schultz got all triggered and responded on his Flagrant podcast, implying Kendrick's verse was aimed at him. Schultz then made several bizarre comments, mocking Kendrick for associating with known offenders, while preaching about empowerment and gender equality.
That Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, Asian, and of R. Kelly. And actually, reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
Predator,
and black women,
children.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black women?
Not potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
Yeah, I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that is.
It's not brazy.
But Schultz didn't stop there. He also went on to make a disturbing comment, suggesting he would grape Kendrick.
But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. There's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we've done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well you.
Naturally, this sparked outrage online, with many people calling him out for crossing the line. But it's not just fans who are dragging Schultz. Other rappers also voiced their opinions, among them Meek Mill, who wrote on X, white men saying they'll grate black men openly is extreme, and then say it's just a joke. Black manhood is not a joke. I seen the same guy saying I was gay on his stand-up. My white friends like, it's a joke. We don't joke like that in the black community at all. However, Schultz remained unapologetic, and he hopped in replies with a screenshot of Meek's comment responding to Schultz joking about him being gay in a stand-up special. Schultz wrote, "You seem to like it," alongside a screenshot where Meek wrote, "The first time I laughed at being gay, but don't whip me in real life. I may swing LOL." Meanwhile, other industry figures joined Meek in calling out Schultz, including O'Shea Jackson, who quoted a video of Schultz's bizarre rant about Kendrick, writing, "Weird." But once again, Schultz decided to clap back and replied directly to O'Shea, referencing one of O'Shea's father Ice Cube's songs, Google No Vaseline by Ice Cube. But O'Shea didn't let Schultz have the last word, and he quickly responded, saying that Schultz's comparison doesn't work in this case. O'Shea wrote, "A metaphor about getting effed business-wise by your manager isn't the same, homie. He ain't call you a B. He ain't say F you. Didn't even say your name. And your response was buck-breaking. Ish was just crazy." Needless to say, the vast majority of fans are on Meek Mill and O'Shea Jackson's side. And they're saying Andrew Schultz is not just painfully unfunny, but actually racist. One fan said, "Nah, Andrew Schultz just outed himself as a Karen who just called 911 on rap. He doesn't give an F about black gender dynamics and intergenerational trauma. He wants what Vlad and Adam 22 and countless mediocre white men do, freedom with immunity to be up in everyone's business."
With Kendrick Lamar gets intense, and you won't believe why.
I promise you I'm serving you ASAP. Don't ever throw my life again, you big
Earlier this fall, things got intense for Aiden Ross when this happened.
Man, there's no fly zone for him. He just has put himself in an equation that he can't get out of. Aiden Ross, no fly zone. Please let me know when you get to LA.
The Kendrick versus Drake war continues to wreak havoc and has now brought streamers to the front lines. Aiden Ross carries weight in the rap game, at least from a clout perspective. Everyone knows that Aiden Ross is strongly associated with the controversial rapper Drake, always supporting him in many instances over the last few years. What having that relationship cost him? However, his tension with Drake's rival, Kendrick Lamar. It all started when Aiden Ross's name came up on the Figmunity World podcast during a conversation about Kendrick Lamar. When the hosts discovered Aiden reps Drake all day, they declared a no-fly zone for him in Los Angeles. The hosts, who are closely affiliated with Kendrick, didn't take the association situation lightly.
We gotta make a no-fly zone here. We gotta make a no-fly zone for them. Drake can't come out here. I'll be at all the motherfucking private airports waiting.
During the podcast, they spoke about Aiden Ross and fellow streamer Cheezer partying at a Vegas club when Kendrick Lamar's They Not Like Us started playing. Cheezer immediately began dancing, but Aiden wasn't having it and stood back in support of Drake, adding even more tension to the situation.
I'm loyal to Drake, bro. I'm not dancing to bro. This cringe.
Once the clip started going viral across the internet, Aiden comes out with a response video with Sneeko, calling out Kendrick's goons and saying he isn't scared.
Banned from LA. I'm not banned from LA, bro. I wish somebody would. I swear to God, I'm gonna go to LA. Nobody's gonna do to me. I promise you, bro. That old mother that podcast, bro. I'll smack the out of you. Well, not me, but I'm gonna have security smack the out of you.
The heat dials up when Kendrick's goons went into detail about Aiden's LA ban and responding to his security defense. Things even got serious as they warned that security gets shot at every day.
And I swear to God, I'm gonna slap him, and even if his security is from LA, they gonna get slapped too.
Aiden Ross, let me give you a tip. Security get popped every day, B.
After hearing this, Aiden Ross hit back with lawyer talk, warning them and potentially suing.
I got the best lawyers of all time, baby. Let's do it. And I'm gonna low-key sue you for that. You want to? I can't wait. Yo, let me get that clip again. Put that on my phone right now. Send that right to my lawyer. I promise you I'm serving you ASAP. Don't ever threaten my life again, you big
To date, Aiden Ross has yet to set foot in Los Angeles, but he did release a sort of apology video where he apologizes to the people of LA.
I'm not folding. I still say you to the people that were coming at me. You. But I'm not saying you to all of LA, and I love LA, seriously.
Later, it was revealed that Aiden and one of Kendrick's associates, AD, had squashed the beef. It turns out Aiden's manager is friends with AD, and they talk things out. Eventually, Aiden FaceTimed AD to settle the issue, even expressing interest in doing something positive for LA and the kids.
We had a conversation like grown men, and it's good. I ain't tripping. I want to do something dope for the city. You know what I'm saying? With the kids. We can turn up.
What do you think? Will Aiden Ross ever try going to LA? And what kind of welcome would he receive? Whatever happens, it's only a matter of time before the Kendrick and Drake beef does something that no one can take back.